Hey everyone, Andang here for more of LOTRO. When we last left off, we made our way into what used to be Mirkwood and are now at the Wood Elves' place, right outside it actually, at this tree garden. And so let's go ahead and talk to Radagast, who we've just finally met up with again.
Do my eyes deceive me?
Well, is it Andang? How are you, old friend? It seems an age since last we crossed paths. Have you come to help me in restoring the forest? These trees you see around us, I have been nursing them to be replanted among those which are corrupted or dead. Yet I have halted in the task because of something that worries me. The waters flowing from the nearby river have not cleared after Sauron's fall, and Dol Gulduar's raising. No. They are swelled with corruption more than ever. I have asked Oraniel to go and bring back a report, but I should feel better if you went there as well. Look especially at roots and soil and the health of the plants by the river, Rauchlo. Alright, time to go and investigate the health of things. I hope we get a furry friends thing like we had in the Lone Lands, but we'll see if that does take place here. In the meantime, let's listen to this page here.
Years flowed by once more, and we tended to our woodland realm, forgetting friendship, emeralds, and grievances for the time. Yes, years ran together, until one day, everything changed.
Here's a dead tree. The roots of this tree stretch toward the river. Dead flowers. These flowers are wilted. Whoa! What else is there to examine? Well, here's a wolf with a quest overhead. So we gotta take him on, right? Wolves, left unchecked, have made the wilds unsafe. They patrol Erin Laskalin and the Dalelands, looking for prey. Alright, well we can definitely take them on. And apparently this boar as well. These flowers are dead and dry. Dead and dry, oh no. Whatever sickened these flowers has happened recently. This tree is lifeless.
You there, stranger?
The riverbanks are dry, and the plants lay dead or dying. I scarcely believe it. Yet my eyes do not deceive me, for you have seen the same. But there is another matter you should see. There is an elf sleeping by the river banks, just over yonder. Come, let us see what we can make of it. Alright, earlier I fell asleep while I was by the riverbank. Tainted berries, oh man. The elf has fallen into a very deep sleep. Corrupted bush. The bush is dead, but a few berries and leaves still cling to a broken twig.
A word between us, then.
Whatever blight strangled this berry bush was swift-moving indeed. Whatever blight strangled this berry bush was swift-moving indeed. Perhaps no sign of disease was evident when this poor elf plucked and ate from it, or perhaps they were just a LOTRO NPC and had no logic at all. The corruption of the river has grown, and grown swiftly, affecting all the plant life around its banks. That much is clear.
I would speak with you.
Andang, I shall bring this poor soul back to Felgoth. I am certain he will recover under a healer's care. Will you survey more of the river's length, keeping an eye out for animals that might have been affected by this river as well? The effect of the waters on some beasts is not sleep, but madness. I shall meet you again further upstream as soon as I am able. Oh man, now we got this crazy river doing crazy river things. Who knows who might be trying to do that? That's interesting. Alright, well before we get too carried away with some of these river plots, let's go ahead and finish off all the quests we had inside of the Elven Kingdom here. What? There's now a new deed for mounting different goats? That's kind of crazy. Apparently there's 9 goats in the game right now. Interesting. This is King Thranduil's dining chamber, but there is no feast here today. That is quite the harp. Jeez. That would make the Swan Knights jealous.
I fought at Dagorlad, but more than half of the Wood Elves did not return from the war.
When the last alliance marched through Rovanion on its way to Mordor, none were turned away who swore to march against the Dark Lord. Men on the Long Lake, dwarves of Khazad-dûm, and elves of the divided Greenwood, west and east, stood side by side. I fought with my brothers and sisters at Dagorland, but more than half of the Wood Elves did not return from the war. Lost too were our kings. Thranduil ascended to the throne, and though he is not a Wood Elf, he never forgot the sacrifice of my people. He led us wisely and well during the years since the Battle of Dagorland. He is the Elven King, and I am proud to serve him. I know he will one day depart for the Undying Lands, with the rest of his kin, and leave this land to be ruled by Wood Elves. I will celebrate his rule when that day comes, and speak much praise for Thranduil, swift stream. That day is soon approaching. Arthur smiles, anticipating the day the Wood Elves will rule Eren Laskalin. That's kind of a cool thing. That'd be like if inside Gondor there was a group that all of a sudden was able to rule the lands peacefully. Quite an unusual transition. Or if like Rohan was ruled by a Dunlending or something like that. Maybe not that extreme, but you get the idea. Ah yes, and the vase. This better be an impressive music show. I'm just saying. Whoa, there are a ton of elves here. Man, I have not seen that many elves in a long time, maybe even ever in LOTRO at a single location. So many elves here. Looks like there are also things down in the dungeons, including pages. Here we go.
It was a necklace of ancient make, wrought by the dwarves of old. Fine and gleaming was the gold, encrusted with 500 perfect glittering emeralds, maybe more. Perfect, wondrous, radiant.
Dang. This is the room of study where scholars pore over artifacts from Dol Guldur.
Our scholars hope to cleanse the artifacts brought from Dol Guldur of their evil.
I hope they prove able, for that was once our home. It is true, I speak not of the fortress. No, the fortress of Dol Guldur was wholly constructed by servants of the enemy, but it was built upon the bones of the elf hall that once stood atop the bald hill, abandoned at the advice of Cornir the White. He believed the darkening of Mirkwood could not be slowed, and King Thranduil heeded his words and led us north beyond Agorondor, the narrows of the forest. We settled at a rocky spire in the mountains of Emenleg, overlooking the source of the river Lithlond. Thranduil named the hill Karastilion, and the hall stands still, but it stands empty. The darkness of Mirkwood spread, and our retreat from the southern reaches of the wood was not to be the last such retreat. I do not wish to speak of it. I am sorry. My happiest days were spent in Karastilion, and speaking of it now brings the pain of their loss anew. Gondil smiles sadly, remembering days before she left Karastilion. This is really interesting, because it's like they haven't forgotten what went wrong.
A gift the emerald necklace was, given freely in times of goodwill. But friendship, far more fragile than any metal or gem, did not endure.
The air is cool and damp with mist in this river channel.
These caverns were carefully shaped over hundreds of years.
And now their beauty is a comfort to me. So too is it a reminder that even amidst darkness, wood elves and grey elves working together can achieve works of grace and splendor. So too can it be between elves and dwarves. There has been trade between our peoples, to be certain, but that is a history troubled and long. There may now be friendship and peace between elves of the wood and dwarves of the mountain, but it was not always so. In Erebor, the mountain of the dwarves, their miners unearthed a shining white jewel of unsurpassed brilliance. King Thranduil believed it must be nothing less than one of the lost Silmarils, and demanded to see it. But Thrain of the dwarves refused. Thranduil shut the gates of Felaggoth to the dwarves, and only the Council of Mithrandir and his assurance that the white jewel could not be a Silmaril repaired those broken bonds of friendship. They were later strained again. But of the necklace of Girion, it is not my place to speak. Ask the Prince Legolas of it if you must, but I will say naught of it now. Eithron apologizes for his sudden reticeness, but he will say no more. Alright. Well, let's go talk to Legolas about this touchy necklace, and then see what else needs to be done.
Welcome, stranger.
You have found my belongings. I am indebted to you. I must be more careful and not misplace these precious items again. Now, something is missing. Yes, my vase needs fresh flowers in it. If you could make haste to the gardens here in Felaggoth, there should be some nice golden flowers to fill the vase. Alright, yes, we'll fill your vase, but not just yet, buddy. I'm gonna go talk to Legolas.
How did you enjoy your exploration of my father's halls?
You share your experience of Felaggoth and ask Legolas about the necklace of Girion, mentioned by Ethereum. He stares at you in silence. That is a subject about which my father prefers not to speak, and I will respect his wishes. I will say only this. The Gwiriamir was crafted by the dwarves and gifted to the bride of Thingol, my father's liege. When he was murdered, she cast it away in disgust, and it was lost for thousands of years. It came in the end to the dwarves of Erebor, and seeing it there inflamed my father's anger, as you surely can understand. When Smaug came, my father turned the dwarves away, and they became a people in exile. I am not proud to recount this to you. The matter was resolved in time, and I do not wish to dwell upon it. There are angers and troubles enough to face for now, without dwelling upon old injuries and half-forgotten insults.
Let us instead look to the dangers that await my people in Aryan Lasgalang today.
It's really interesting that they just have not moved on at all. Like, an elf never forgets, apparently, even though it's been several years since all these incidents took place. It is mere hours since I returned, and already I have heard tell of orc spies in the forest. We should seek the scouts my father dispatched, and see what they have learned of these spies. Gardelin and Denalas patrol the wood southeast of Torek Emil. Let us go to them and hear the report. Spies in the forest. Oh man, Legolas just got here and already things are not looking good for the people of the Green Leaves. Alright, well, when we return, we'll go and find those orc spies and patrol the forest and fix a whole bunch of things, and also find flowers for that guy's face. But that is not till next time. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like down below, and I'll see you again real soon for more of LOTRO.